Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming. Please excuse, I'm having a little seasonal allergy here, so I'm a little hoarse. But anyway, I really appreciate everybody coming. On behalf of Selfhelp Community Services and UJA-Federation of New York, I'd like to thank the Museum of Jewish Heritage, a living memorial to the Holocaust, for hosting today's performance of Witness Theater by the Yeshivah of Flatbush, Joel Braverman High School. We also express deep gratitude to the school as our long-standing partner in this program. Yeshivah of Flatbush, Joel Braverman High School is proud to serve as the program host and convener for this site of Witness Theater in Brooklyn, which brings together 16 of their students with 5 incredible Holocaust survivors. These survivors' diverse experiences during the war and their lives today will be shared on stage this afternoon. This has been a very challenging year for everyone. The events of October 7th and the current war have opened up many painful memories of war and anti-Semitism for everyone, and especially for Holocaust survivors. Throughout the year, the Witness Theater has provided a very safe space for these 5 survivors and their student participants to process these events and to give great support to each other. While we may not have power to impact the situation in Israel, we remain hopeful, of course, for the release of the hostages and for better times as we witness the stories of these Holocaust survivors. By remembering their legacy, we look forward to a time of peace and healing for all Jewish people. Witness Theater is made possible through a unique partnership between Selfhelp Community Services and UJA-Federation of New York, and this year has received a generous support from the Conference on Jewish Material Claims Against Germany Claims Conference, Carol and Carl Hess, the Miriam and Arthur Diamond Charitable Trust, and the Robert and Trudy Gottsman Philanthropic Fund. Yeshivah Flatbush Witness Theater program is being generously supported through the William S. Levine Family Shoah Institute. This very unique and essential program was developed in Israel by JDC-Eshel and was brought to New York 12 years ago by Selfhelp, which is the largest provider of services to survivors in North America, an agency which is supported by UJA-Federation. New York is home to approximately 15,000 Holocaust survivors and has the largest concentration of survivors in the United States. Sadly, a large number of these survivors live in poverty. Many of them are alone. Many are suffering with chronic illness and severe depression. While the total population of survivors is declining, the cost of their care continues to escalate. And as their needs become more complex, and that is why in 2004, UJA-Federation created the Community Initiative for Holocaust Survivors, known as CIHS. It is to raise funds to provide survivors with compassionate care to address their unique needs. While the broader UJA supports Ukrainian survivors, CIHS only supports survivors in New York and Israel. Unfortunately, projections indicate that the number of survivors who will require help of increasing intensity will not abate significantly for several years to come. That's why we seek to raise multi-year gifts to CIHS so we can be confident in our ability to provide survivors with the stability of care that is so critical at this stage in their lives. A significant portion of CIHS funding is granted to Selfhelp Community Services. Selfhelp's compassionate professionals often serve as survivors' last living relatives. By offering specialized, culturally sensitive care throughout New York, Selfhelp ensures that survivors can live out their remaining years with meaning, dignity, and a very warm embrace of their community. By being here today, you are now part of that community. And I encourage you all to find out about the many ways that you can continue to be involved, because caring for survivors is not just the work of one day a year. It's something that we must do every day until the very last survivor turns to us for help. Thank you all so much again for coming today. And now I'd like to introduce Sally Grazi-Shotkus, the drama therapist and director of the Yeshivah of Flatbush Witness Theater program. Thank you.
There was a certainty with which we entered the room on September 5th, our first day of our Witness Theater sessions. Perhaps it was naive, but we felt a sense of relief in knowing that we would have another year of Witness Theater despite the shrinking survivor population. With 5 vibrant survivors and 16 high-spirited teenagers in our group, we leaned into that sense of certainty, and we began our program with the usual first month of getting to know you activities. 5 weeks later, as we entered the holiday of Sukkot, we felt strongly bonded, mutually cherished, and ready upon return from vacation to hear the adults' stories of survival during the Holocaust. And then, all certainty as we knew it crumbled to dust and blew away in the real-life nightmare that was October 7th. Like all Jews across the globe, we were tossed into the winds of uncertainty, often finding ourselves lost in the barrage of existential questions. How can we teach while this is happening? How can we learn while this is happening? How can we parent, work, sleep, laugh? Our next Tuesday evening Witness Theater session would be on October 10th, and I did not know what to do with myself or where to put myself. Not physically, emotionally, or spiritually. How could I walk into the room so unprepared and dizzy with grief? And how on earth could I tackle the topic of the Holocaust when we already felt so broken? But that night, at our usual time in our usual room, and without even realizing, we did what trauma experts suggest. We sat together in silence and put a hand on our hearts, and we focused on our breathing. And when we could feel our racing heartbeats slow and our shallow breath becoming deeper, we started to reorient ourselves into our senses, focusing on what we could see, like the gray walls of the room, and what we could hear, like the hum of the air conditioning, and what we could feel, like the fabric of our clothing underneath our fingers and the floor underneath our feet. We located ourselves in the room, in the group, in the session, and then one at a time, each of us declared, "I am here." And only then, once we each felt truly present, physically, mentally, and emotionally, were we ready to begin talking and sharing. And And this became our weekly ritual, as well as the theme for today's show. Noticing what we see, noticing what we hear, noticing what we feel, and declaring, I am here. We are here. And in this ritual, we were able to find certainty once again. The certainty that we exist as this group in the room with a mission to progress through the Witness Theater program. And even more significant, we exist as a nation in the world. The Jewish people are here. Despite all the odds and all the adversity, we are here. And this certainty gave us an enormous sense of hope. Just a few weeks ago, on March 7th, we were shaken again, this time by the sudden loss of Stefania Hecht, a survivor in our group who we had come to know and love dearly. We were devastated and once again unprepared and at a loss for words. Together that week, we put our hands on our aching hearts. We saw the pictures of her beautiful face, heard the recordings of her voice, and felt the memory of her delicate hands in ours. In our ability to see, hear, and feel, and thus grab on to presence in the room, we discovered that though she was physically gone, Stefania's legacy was strongly present within our group, and we forged forward to honor her story and have her daughter, Vivi, participate in our sessions and in today's show in memory of her mama. We do not know what will unfold tomorrow, or when and how the awful events of the last 8 months will become a part of our collective past. But we are absolutely certain of one thing. Today, we are here. And today, in a show with 5 interwoven storylines to follow, we ask for your full presence, physical, mental, and emotional, as we see the stories, hear the voices of those who live them, and feel connected to their experiences. We are here. Baruch Hashem, shehechiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higianu. Blessed is God who helped us survive, who picked us up, and who pushed us forward to this moment in time. We pray that, like our forefather Abraham, who was able to answer, Hineni, I am here, in his most emotionally turbulent moment, that we too will be able to answer God's call to action with the same simple answer. I am here.
I am here.
I am here. I am here.
I am here.
I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here.
I am here. I am here.
I am here. I am here.
I am here.
I am here. We dedicate our presence today to Stefania Hecht, Aleha Shalom, and pray that we share her sense of gratitude for all time.
It's amazing. I am surprised of myself, like a 15, 16-year-old girl, taking away from the house and go through Auschwitz and survive the atrocity and be here. I'm amazed.
קשה לראות כולם ביחד, אף אחד פה לא בודד שישרפו המלחמות עם ישראל חי אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים עם ישראל חי בא להיות בירידות גם בשעות הכי קשות הקדוש ברוך הוא שומר עלינו ויכול עלינו תהיה לנו עוד מדינה תעשה שלום בינינו שמע ילדינו כי לא אתה האמונה עם ישראל חי עם ישראל חי אם לא נשכח תמיד להיות מאוחדים עם ישראל חי בא להיות בירידות גם בשעות הכי קשות כי עם הנצח לעולם לא מפחד ולא אבדה
It's amazing that I am here.
It is a miracle that we are here.
It is so unlikely, you know?
After all we went through,
In every generation, right up until today.
September.
I am here.
I see elderly adults approaching.
I hear the door creak as it opens.
I feel my heart racing. We are here. October.
I am here.
I see familiar faces.
I hear laughter.
I feel connected. We are here. November.
I am here.
I see eyes squinting from intense listening. I hear stories of the past. I feel grounded. We are here. December.
I am here.
I see tears roll down cheeks. I hear muffled cries.
I feel my heart ache.
We are here.
January.
I am here.
I see empathic smiles.
I hear words of comfort.
I feel hopeful. We are here. In February, we read the script and learn the roles we will play. The responsibility is so real that we can practically taste it all, beginning to take shape on our lips. On stage in March and April, the stories of the past become alive in the present.
We feel so close with each other that it feels natural to become each other. It feels electric.
our hearts pounding. Proudly we declare, I am here, and I will tell your story. I am here, and I will tell your story. I am here, and I will tell Mama's story.
I am here, and I will tell your story.
I am here, and I will tell your story.
Life before the war was complicated.
There were some very happy memories and some very difficult ones.
For the most part, we were children.
And we experience things from a child's point of view.
I was 5 years old during the summer of 1941 in Ukraine. I was there.
I am here, in our one-room apartment. From the corner where I sleep, I see my parents, getting ready for the day. My papa, who is a champion wrestler, drinks raw eggs for breakfast. He is so strong. One day, I hear big explosions. Since I recently broke my leg, we cannot run to the train station like everyone else from our neighborhood. I feel scared, but my papa has friends in high places, and so he arranges for us to be taken to the station in a police car. I have never been in a car before.
Ira, Jana!
We are here!
I was 5 years old during the summer of 1943 in Hungary. I was there.
I am here, in our yard where the summer rains have turned the soil to mud. Because of the warm weather, my mama lets my sister Hannah and me take our shoes off and stomp around in the thick, squishy mud. We are here, in the yard. I hear Mama yelling at us not to get too dirty, but we don't listen. I see Hannah rub mud on her feet and ankles, and I join in the fun until it looks like we are wearing mud boots. I feel carefree joy until the announcements begin.
You have 24 hours to pack your things.
I see our neighbors packing their things. I hear the grown-ups talking about a ghetto. I feel relieved that Hannah and Mama and I are allowed to stay in our home, but at night, it is hard to fall asleep.
Getuka,
I am here, Hanala.
Mama was 15 years old during the autumn of 1943 in Romania. She was there.
I am here, in my father's grocery store, where I have not been for almost a year. I see the counter where my brother and I would stand on Mondays after school, packaging spices, while he daydreamed about being a pilot.
Primo, do you hear the planes? I'll be right back. I'm going out to see him.
I can still hear my father's voice calling him back.
Yossi, come back in. We have a full store of customers.
It was so busy back then that I hardly had time to think. But now, I feel lonely. My mother died when I was 5. My older sister died when I was 8. And my beloved father, my Apu, when I was 10. For the last few years, I have been like a mother to my twin siblings. But ever since the war started, I don't know how to explain it all to them. How will I tell them that we are being told to move again?
Frima!
Freemy, where are you?
There are soldiers all over town!
I am here, children. I am here.
I was 5 years old during the winter of 1942 in Slovakia. I was there.
I am here, in Cheder, in my Rebbe's house. I see all the boys from our neighborhood. I hear pots clinking from the kitchen, and the smell of the Rebbitzins cooking fills this small dark room where we learn. Feels warm and cozy.
Johnny!
I'm here on you, in my room. One day, I'm home, sick from Cheder, and I look out the window in my room. And I see a big white swastika on the sidewalk. Around town, I hear people shouting at us in the streets.
Jews go back to Palestine! Go back to Palestine!
I feel scared. Apu, what is it? Is something wrong? My father is an important person in our Jewish community. I'm sure that he'll be able to make things right. Apu? Apu?
I'm here, Yanni. I'm here.
I was 2.5 years old during the summer of 1941 in Belarus. I was there.
I am here, in my apartment. I see that my papa has not returned since he left, a week ago. My brother Leonid is in his room, and my brother Mark is away at summer camp. I hear my mama say that Papa's fighting for our country and that I should be proud, but I feel restless. Mama, what is taking Leonid so long?
I'm almost ready. Be patient, Sophia, or I'll change my mind about taking you to the cinema.
Mama, is Mark coming home soon?
I told you, Sofichka. He sleeps at the camp. When you're like Marek, you can sleep at summer camp too.
I worry a little bit, but mostly I feel safe in Mama's arms as she sings to me.
Spí moja radost usni, do mnie pogasły ognie.
One day, I wake to the sound of distant explosions. Mama?
I am here, Sophia.
persecution of Jews was not a new thing.
As we say on Pesach, in every generation they rise up against us. But this time it was happening in our generation.
This time there was a vicious, systematic plan.
This time it was happening to us.
I was 5 years old during the summer of 1941. I was there.
I'm here, in the forest, with Mama. I see the people who ran from our train car with us. I hear sirens in the distance where our train was bombed. I feel my broken leg aching.
Rest, Jana. We might be here for a while.
For how long, Mama? And where will we go if we cannot go on the train anymore?
Someone will come for us soon. I'm sure.
I'm hungry, Mama.
Here, take these leaves and chew them, slowly. They will help to get rid of the hunger.
I chew on the leaves, but I'm still hungry. I don't tell Mama because she's already worried about me. After a few days, people arrive with giant bulls that pull us on wagons to the edge of the forest. I have never seen a bull before. We are put on a barge on the river Volga, where we float for days. Mama tells me that any day now we will find a town to take us in.
A small village allowed us in. People were looking for factory workers to process sugar out of the local sugarcane farms. My mama said she could work in the night and take care of me in the day. An older couple agreed to take us in.
I'm here, in the place Mama tells me is our home now. I see the straw where we sleep on one side of the room and the bed where the couple sleeps on the other side. I hear Mama promising that I won't make trouble for anyone while she's at work in the night. I feel my heart flutter at the thought that she will leave me here.
Januchka, you won't even know that I am gone.
Please, don't leave me, Mama.
It'll only be for a little while. Only a little while, until the war ends. A little while, until we can go back to Kiev. A little while, until Papa can get out of the army.
During those years in Timasheva, we had no doctors, no school, and no water or plumbing in the cottage.
I get used to Mama putting me to sleep and then leaving. I get used to daily life with the Russian couple. But I don't get used to the hunger. That is a pain I feel every hour of every day of the 4 years that we live in that one-room cottage.
Even though my mother worked all night, she still made time during the day to teach me to read and write.
I'm here, in our cottage. I see Mama cooking dinner for us before she goes to work. I hear her yawning. I feel like I want to run outside, but it is winter, and my shoes don't fit me anymore.
Come, Jana. Time to read. A, B, V, G, D.
A, B, V, G, D. Mama, I need to use the bathroom.
Okay, let me wrap your feet so they don't get frostbite.
Mama has to do this every time I need to go to the outhouse. Since we moved here when I was 5, my shoes haven't fit me for many years.
I was 9 years old when the war ended. We were sick with hunger and still wore the clothing from before the war. My papa was wounded and fighting for his life in a hospital in Kuibyshev. By some miracle, my aunt, who was evacuated to Kuibyshev and working at the hospital, found my father and made sure the doctors gave him proper antibiotics. Eventually, he recovered and came to us in Timashevo.
I was 5 years old during the spring of 1943. I was there.
I'm here.
Had died before the war. Since then, not yet.
I am here in my bed, trying to sleep. I open my eyes and see my mother talking to our 2 cousins who escaped from the ghetto. I hear them saying words I don't understand, like liquidation and relocation. I feel tired, but I can't stop listening.
What do you think we should do?
I can't imagine where they will take us, but anything is better than life in the ghetto.
Charney, your parents send their love. They want to know if your government papers will allow you to stay in Satmar, even if they clear out the ghetto.
With God's help, yes. Who would have thought the tragedy of losing my husband would have saved us from this awful situation?
They talk and talk all night. Some things I don't understand, and some things I wish I didn't hear. But my cousins decide to go back to the ghetto. They say they cannot bear the thought of saving themselves and leaving their families behind.
My father died before the war. Since he died during his service as a Hungarian soldier,
my mother received protection from the Hungarian government. This kept us safe for most of the war, and it also spared us from the deportation when the entire community was sent to Auschwitz.
I am here, at the window, watching my community walk to the station. I see my grandparents. They stop for a moment to wave. And then they continue walking. I hear my mother burst into tears as she runs into the next room. I feel helpless.
Soon, it became too dangerous for us to stay in Satmar. The Russians were closing in, our city was being bombed. Another Jewish family who had the same government protection offered for us to join them in their farm outside Satmar.
I am here, in a farmhouse where my family has been for 2 months. I see the others asleep. I hear a loud knocking at the door. I feel my mother sit up quickly beside me. What was that, Mama?
Shh, Hanala, go back to sleep.
We are all awake now, and we listen.
I'm telling you, I was in the tavern with them, and they had a map. Those Nazi pigs know exactly who was in this house, and the plan is to shoot you all.
Did they say when?
Maybe tomorrow, maybe even tonight. They're drunk and they know they are losing the war. I would say you don't have much time.
Get your coats.
I leave my red jumper with the white polka dots hanging on the chair. We throw on our coats and follow my mother as she moves quickly out into the street.
It was the middle of the night. They arrived back in Satmar and were taken by a Gentile neighbor. A few weeks later, Russia declared victory, and my mother began to collect whatever pieces of information and normalcy that she could find.
Mama was 16 years old during the spring of 1944. She was there.
I am here with the whole community in a huge barn. The Nazi officers shoved each family into an animal pen. I see the twins and my older brother Yossi sleeping on the ground nearby. I hear crying babies and hundreds of families trying to comfort each other under these awful conditions. I feel filthy.
Frima, where are you?
I am here, Leia. Don't worry, I am here.
How much longer do we have to stay in here? The smell is awful.
Try to rest. I'm sure it won't be much longer. One day, there's an announcement.
All men and boys over the age of 16 are to report outside for a walk.
Yossi, who is 18, leaves with the other boys and fathers from our town. But hours later, he is still not back.
She never saw him again. She didn't say goodbye and didn't know where they took him. A few days later, Mama and her siblings were taken out from the barn and put on trains to Auschwitz.
I am here on a train meant for cattle. I see people crammed into every space available, and some who've already died from hunger. I feel the train screech to a halt. I feel wind hit me as the heavy doors slide open. I stand on line with my aunt, clinging to Miriam and Leah. But when we get to the front of the line, they are all sent in one direction, and I am sent on the other.
Stop! You will shower and have your heads shaved, you filthy creatures.
We are here, naked,
hairless,
shivering in the cold.
We are here,
unable to recognize each other,
losing our minds.
We are here. Over the next few weeks, we sleep, 1,000 girls in a barrack. We wake at 3 a.m. to stand for hours and be counted. Today, I see some women run straight into an electric fence. I think maybe they are lucky. They are not here anymore.
Mama was in Auschwitz a few months, and then she was selected to work in a factory. The conditions were not good, but anything was better than Auschwitz.
I am here, working in the factory. I see my friend Alice and hundreds of other girls making ammunition for the Germans. I hear machines whirring day and night. I feel empty.
Brima, it's time to go.
I'm sorry, Alice. I didn't realize the time. I am so focused on my work.
It's okay. It's the only way to survive each day. Wake, work, sleep. Wake, work, sleep. Every day. Wake, work, sleep.
Alice is my age. She sleeps near me in the barracks. At night, we share stories, but can't seem to comfort each other. We have lost our youth. We have lost our hope.
One day, a heavy German officer came into the factory and announced that the war was over. The girls were relieved, but also confused and scared. Can you imagine? They had nothing, no one. They didn't know where to go. They were sick and starving, but a few of them decided to make their way back home.
I was 7 years old during the fall of 1944. I was there.
I am here, in my father's store. I see a messenger sent by Police Chief Adam Bomba talking to my parents. I hear him say that the Gestapo's almost here, and that they're searching for my father. I feel my heart start to race.
There's no time to run, Minna. You're gonna have to hide somewhere in the store.
What about inside this cabinet? The one with all this broken glass? They wouldn't think to look there.
Yanni, when Anu closes the cabinet, you stand in front of it. They won't bother a child.
I see two officers enter the store. Next to them is a dog that's bigger than me.
Where is your husband?
I don't know.
They ask my sister. She also says she doesn't know. They poke around our shop with their vicious dog. If they come to me, what will I say? My father's life is in my hands. They come closer. We all hold our breath. And they walk past us out the door. We all exhale. We're all safe for now, but we know we can't stay here and bar the oath.
We moved into the attic of a friend, the family, Elephant family. It was sweltering hot, and we knew we couldn't stay there for long. My father decided to make the 90-mile journey to Mikulash, a resort town in the Tatry Mountains. We trekked for about 2 months and stayed whenever my father could make a connection.
I am here, in the snowy mountains. Mikulash became too dangerous for us, so we moved in with a Gentile family. But then that became too dangerous for us too. I see the bunker that my father and his friend Moshe Zucker dug into the side of a mountain. I hear people moving around, trying to stay warm. I feel all grown up now, because I'm 8 years old.
Yanni! Yanni, come back into the bunker with me. Enough wandering for today. It's too dangerous.
It's too stuffy in there. 40 people is too many to live in a cave. And it's so sad and depressed.
Yanni, it is more hopeful now that Rabbi Weinberger has joined us. Yanni, this man lost his entire family just days ago. And he has us singing Zmirs. Come, Yanni.
This man, Rabbi Weinberger, is also known as the Torah Rebbe. He keeps us from despair for many weeks, until the Russians find us. They're friendly, but they tell us we need to evacuate immediately so they can bomb the area, so they can clear it of German soldiers. Everyone starts to panic. We have no idea where we're supposed to go. Everyone starts to run.
When we left the bunker, my mother handed me a pillowcase full of silverware to carry. She said it was of inheritance, a Yerisha from Baba Rachel, and I'd better not lose it. But it was very heavy, and after 15 minutes, I started to fall behind the group. I had to make a life or death decision, so I yanked it off my back, and it dropped right into the snow, and I ran like the wind to catch up with my father.
I am here, in the snowy clearing in the forest. I see a little hut nearby. I hear the wind blowing through the trees. I feel cold.
Yanni, I don't see Anu and Olga anymore. I must have fallen behind because of Baba. I'm gonna need you to stay right here, Yanni. Do you hear me? Don't leave this area. They could be miles behind us. You'll get too tired if you come with me. And if you go ahead of the group, I won't be able to find you.
How long will it be gone, Apu?
I can't be sure, but promise me you will stay right here.
I watch him disappear into the trees, and I'm alone with the wind again. I wait for hours and hours. I'm too scared to go into the hut, so I stand out here in the cold. I eat snow because I'm so hungry. The sun sets and still no Apu. I'm afraid, but I don't panic. I think of the Yerusha from Baba Rachel and my decision to leave it behind. Somehow I feel more confident. I am here, and my story will not end in this forest.
My father found me much later that night. I can't remember anything after that, but somehow, about 3 days later, we arrived on foot in a town which had been liberated by the Americans.
I was 2.5 years old during the summer of 1941. I was there.
I am here in my apartment. I hear Mama and Leonid speaking in hushed voices. I feel curious.
Maybe if I go there myself, I'll have better luck getting Marek out.
You can't, Leonid. The camp is right where the troops are stationed. It's too dangerous.
But we have to leave Minsk in the next few days. The Germans are getting closer and closer, and soon it might be too late to flee.
There is nothing we can do right now. Hopefully, the camp will keep the boys safe until we can find somewhere to stay, and we will send for him.
My brother takes whatever he can carry, and my mother carries me. We leave on foot with thousands of other people who are fleeing Minsk. We walk for a few days, and then we board a train. We have no idea where we're going.
We arrived in Ruzaevka, where we were taken by a woman who invited us to share one room on her apartment. After a year, my uncle helped us get us an apartment in Kazan, which was safer and even further from the war.
I'm here in my apartment in Kazan. I see my mother writing letters. She is always writing letters. Sometimes I hear her whimper when she is writing. I feel worried. Another letter, Mama? Why do you write so many letters?
I'm writing to ask if anyone has seen Marek. I cannot stop writing until we find him.
Has anyone written back?
Not yet.
After a whole year, my mother finally receives word.
Look, Mama! Someone wrote back! It's an official letter!
Marek has been found. We are elated. Mama collects some sweets for Marek and packs a small bag. We say goodbye and she leaves on the long journey.
It took my mother a few days to arrive at the location where my brother should be. But when she arrived, it was not Marek. It was another poor orphan boy. The two of them cried and cried. The boy was losing his mama all over again, and my mother was losing her son all over again.
I'm here in my apartment in Kazan. I see that Marek has not returned. I hear my mother crying. She cries and cries for days and days. I feel desperate to find something to say that would comfort her. A few months later, another letter arrives.
Look, Mama! It's from the army.
Papa has been killed in battle. Mama cries more. Soon after, Leonid, who was 17, was drafted to the Russian army. I try to comfort Mama, but somehow she comforts me.
I am here for you, Sophia.
I was 6.5 when the war was ended. My brother Leonid returned from the army injured but alive. We returned to Minsk only to find that the city was completely destroyed. We were given one walk-through room in our old apartment, and we had to start our lives all over again.
The war ended in 1945.
But for us, a new awful chapter had begun. We slowly began to discover what had happened.
And what had become of our homes.
And who had not survived.
I'm here, in a hospital. I see my stomach, all swollen from 4 years of hunger. I hear the doctors tell my parents that I can only have one bite of food every hour. I feel Papa and Mama holding my hand, and I know I will be okay. I am here in Tiberia, Israel, with my mother and stepfather in our new home. I see him trying hard to be a father to Hanala and me. I hear stories about the 13 children he had before the war. Only
one survived. I feel jealous of my mother's love for him, but I am happy to have a father again.
I am here in my hometown, where I have not been for a long time. I see a big board at the entrance of the town, where there are names of those who came back and names of those who are still missing. I hear sounds of joyful reunions and those of dreadful discoveries. I feel so very alone.
I am here in a huge building. There are thousands of people and American officers telling us where to find members of our towns. I see people asking each other if they've seen their loved ones. I hear adults weeping, and it's a sound unlike any I've heard before. I feel the reality of the war starting to set in.
I'm here, playing with my friends in the rubble that is now Minsk. At home, I see that my mama stopped writing letters. I hear her crying at night when she thinks I'm asleep. I feel the absence of my papa and my brother, who I know I'll never see again.
It's amazing that I am here.
It is a miracle that we are here.
It is so unlikely, you know.
After all we went through,
In every generation, right up until today.
I'm here in America in 2024, 87 years young, and surrounded by family and Yiddishkeit. I see my daughter and twin sons who were young adults when we emigrated to America and are so accomplished now. I hear gratitude from the boys who my husband Misha influenced during our years working at OHEL. I feel so much love from my children and grandchildren. When I look into their eyes, I think how Hashem helped my family all these years so that today we can say, we are here.
I am here in America in 2024, 85 years young and grateful for my life, which is full of family and rich experiences. I see the world through a lens of practicality, resourcefulness, and a youthful spirit. I hear the respectful, well-mannered voices of my children and grandchildren, and I know that I raised them well. I feel the warmth of my family, no matter how far apart we live. Our Jewish nation is strong, and with Hashem's help, we will continue to look the world into the eye and say that we are here.
Until March 7th, 2024, Mama was here in America, 96 years young and proud of the life she built after she lost everyone she loved. She saw the home we built, the businesses they started, and the family she raised with her husband Mendel, who we called Tata. She heard the voices of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren who visited her all the time. She felt over the moon to know that soon she would become a great-great-grandmother. These students, who she loved so much, reminded her each week that we need to celebrate that we are here.
I am here in America in 2024, 86 years young, and proud of the life I built with my adventurous spirit and good sense of humor. I see that no matter where I go, and I have traveled the world, I am at home with the Jewish people. I heard the same Torah that I learned way back in the Cheder in every single Jewish community. I feel connected to these young students because we speak the same language of the Torah, and we are very aware that it takes resilience, hard work, and determination of the Jewish people to be able to say, we are here.
I'm here in America in 2024, 85 years young, and retired from my career in engineering. My husband Lazar was also an engineer. I see the strong Jewish culture in my life that I was never allowed to have in Russia. I hear the pride in my daughter's voice when she calls to share my grandson's accomplishments. I feel grateful to America and the Jewish community for helping me rebuild my life here. Like so many Jews, we arrive here in completely poverty with no knowledge of English at all, and we worked so hard to be able to say that we are here.
From Morocco, from Romania, Belarus, Russia, Lebanon, Ukraine,
Czechoslovakia, Hungary,
and so many other countries. We are here from the four corners of the earth.
A miracle of a group.
A miracle of a nation.
We are here with strength, with pride, with truth,
with a land, with an army, with hope.
We stand tall, side by side.
Across oceans and time zones, across generations, past and future.
We thank God who helped us survive, who picked us up, and who pushed us forward to this moment in time.
שהחיינו וטימנו והגיענו
לזמן
הזה.
Please join us in the singing of Hatikvah.
Amen.